If you have watched Bridgerton just to have fun and think about nothing for some hours, I get you. I did the same. It's a sweet, innocent world that gives us everything we want, so it shouldn't be harmful in any case, right? There aren't many things to dislike in this Netflix drama precisely because it was built to work. Cliches are everywhere, and the atmosphere of a dreamy era was definitely well made. I have to give them lots of credits. Then we watched the 8 episodes like candy. Guilty pleasure alert? So, my decision to make a video about the troublesome things in Bridgerton came from a place where I was seeing a lot of issues being normalized as if they were nothing. I'm not blaming the creators or the actors or the production team for that because we all know that these forms of violence are kind of ingrained in society. And so this video is more as an alert for you since you are part of the audience to start noticing problematic things that are entering your brain without you even question it. To start with the right foot, let's bring our beloved protagonist, Daphne. In my opinion, she's problematic in many ways, and yes, I'm going to enter the 8K rape scene that everyone is talking about, but first of all, who is she? In the story, Daphne is the weird diamond of the season, the girl everyone is paying attention to, so in my perspective, you could easily call Daphne a princess-like character because of her image and her role in the story. She is delicate, fits the beauty standards, has status, a perfect persona, and her goal is simply finding true love. And I have to say, it's annoying, and I know I'm not alone in this. The problem with her character starts precisely there, because no one is that perfect. This image of the innocent white blonde girl that everyone has consumed for decades, centuries, maybe even in the Bible, reduces a person, a character, and woman in general, because to fit this angel aura, which is obviously created by man's desire and point of view, probably this ideal woman will be embodied in those prescriptions. Daphne is the woman being seen by the male gaze. Is an unreal form of woman when you say she has no flaws. She made only one mistake all season. She is good for everyone and she's also loved by a powerful man, meaning she is desired. In the meantime, let's take a look at Bridgerton's other female characters. Eloise, one of the underrated narratives in the show by the show because everybody wanted her to have more lines and more screen time. Also, she had zero development this season. Are we going to wait till her solo season like, excuse me? Her character was also linked to queerbaiting in her relationship with Penelope. When I saw this comment in a video about Bridgerton, I immediately realized why I didn't think they were queerbaiting, even though I did think they would end up together. Stick to the end, see both sides of the story. It's that old tale. Can two people just be friends? Yes, the answer will be if you're addressing two girls or two boys. And well will be the answer if you were talking about a girl and a boy in the same room. That's a bummer. But in Eloise's case, just because she is not girly enough to fit the standards for women in that rigid patriarchal society doesn't define her sexuality. It's like saying every boy that wants to be a cop is gay or every girl who loves dolls is heterosexual. So a woman who isn't very feminine doesn't necessarily like girls or is a person who hates love in general. So after reading it, something in my brain just clicked. I was being unfairly biased. On the other hand, I'm not so sure about the creator's intentions because it's very easy to play with the prejudice and stereotypes that exist in society in order to give the audience expectations and interpretations about the things we are seeing and how we are seeing them. Can you get it? But in the end, queerbaiting is more about how the shots are made between two people of the same gender and how is their performance, the movements of their bodies, their glances, And I must say that in some scenes, if they were two people of different genders, everyone would admit they make a good couple, and by the end of the day, they would have kissed. Now let's dive into the problem of my supposedly favorite character, Marina. What a waste of potential here. The creators had a gold mine to explore with her character, but they chose not to. Marina could be maybe like an Amy from Sex Education or even a Maeve in terms of narrative arc, but they just kept her out of sight, in my opinion. And that is a narrative that I would love to see on screen. It involves topics such as abortion, female sexuality, free will in a man's world, and she's also an outsider. Marina is a woman who has had enough experiences to know what she wants and what she has to do, and doesn't let anyone underestimate her. And also, she's the only young black female who has life. What I love most about Marina is that even though her story is the heaviest among the characters, the actress represented her as being kind of dorky, silly, and funny, while being bold and determined and also central and sexual. She could be the main character in the show? Just my opinion. When we talk about stories, every story has narratives. For example, Euphoria. Euphoria's protagonist deals with drug addiction, but given the role to a black girl who loses her father, who was full of medicine since a kid, it addresses different topics, it adds layers to the story. The reality that story carries is quite different if the protagonist was a white boy or a grown man. So, what kind of narrative are you bringing to your story? Is it a cliche or something we all have seen before? Or is something new with more meaning, something different than what we're used to? At least for me, there are narratives worth seeing and worth telling. What I'm talking about here is even though the world of Bridgerton has lots of amazing things, the mise-en-scène is perfect, the outfit, oh my god, and the colors too, the romantic plot is something we all have seen before. That's why characters like Marina, Benedict, the Queen, for example, carry some narratives that could bring other elements into this dreamy world but weren't explored. At this point, you might be getting mad at me because I didn't mention Simon correctly, or should I say, the Duke of Hastings. In terms of plot, he's a powerful and imperfect man. Okay, I'm going to talk with you like Mr. We sit down. In terms of plot, he is a powerful and imperfect man who prefers the ego to the heart. His background is interesting. I think it's a well-built character. Okay, back to normal. But if Daphne is the protagonist, Alice in the books, and the Duke is her significant other, their relationship is problematic in several ways. While the Duke is a libertine, Daphne is an angel on earth. Their love story, in my opinion, reinforces the woman's role as a savior, a cure for men's bad temper, a Madonna that will soothe all wounds, and by fixing a man's brokenness, maybe cooking them dinner and cleaning their dirty clothes. This idea of romantic relationship between man and woman is more common than you think. And not only the plot is based on Simon's development, since he is the one that needs to open himself for love, and that's okay. The main character can be a force that helps other people to grow instead of self-growing, but in the sex scenes, the camera follows the male point of view. We're talking about the male gaze again. Can we talk about those scenes for a second? Stonecrusher, killing it. At least there were some of these, although too quickly in my opinion. You might think I'm exaggerating when I say it reminds me of the representation of women in pornography. They are sexual objects to satisfy male desires, and this is evident when we see the shots most often in the woman's face. Sex is more about penetration than anything else. The expression of the woman's face look more like pain than joy. So the target audience here is straight men who think sex about penetration and submission. And let me just say that this form of sex, stone crusher, is not as likely to give women orgasm. So sex here is based on the man's idea of what sex should be like. And I know not just Bridgerton that does that, lots of other audiovisual productions represent sex like this. But I can spare Bridgerton just because everyone makes that mistake. It doesn't make the mistake any less error. Now let's talk about Pen, shall we? Or should I say, Mrs. Whistledown. Convenient. I don't know about you all, but I'm getting just best friend vibe from her character because in the end, all Penelope did was being sad for a boy who didn't even look at her with desire and being angry at Eloise. I thought they could explore Pen and Eloise's relationship a little more in relation to the identity of Mrs. Whistledown. But I do think Pen could have had some scenes where we could have to know her more about her subjectivity as they did with Eloise. I don't think the plot twist will be affected by it. So in the end, this sidekick character ends up being the master behind everyone's concern. But I'm not gonna lie that the way they reveal it, it was disappointing. I don't think they should have revealed the mystery so soon. It seems like they were in a hurry in case there isn't a season 2. And I don't know, what's your opinion about this? The idea of Mrs. Whistledown being Madame Delacroix was much more interesting in my opinion, since Eloise's theory made a lot of sense. We don't know her background story, and for me, it's a character full of complexities that the show could explore. And in my head, I was already imagining Madame Delacroix casting Eloise at some point to help her. And since Eloise is a writer and wants to be financially independent, and then the show will be, instead of being Gossip Girl in the 19th century, it will be more like Pretty Little Liars in the 19th centuries. And then it will be like this sisterhood outwitting the whole town, knowing everyone's secrets. And if Netflix want, I'm available. Okay, hit me. My email is there somewhere. Okay, hire me. And the last character I want to bring to this conversation is a character that has also been linked to queerbaiting, and his name is Benedict, the artist's brother.
On my way. As you wish. But know you are welcome back any time for practice or even conversation.
You have to admit it that there were scenes where obviously there was some gay tension in the room, like and Benedict, what I like about his character is because he feels a bit like an outsider, as does Eloise. And as an art student myself, I was dying to see how they would make the underground scene of the artist in that period. So I hope his story can become more complex and have more screen time through the new season. Okay, if you get it to the end, subscribe. Put your finger on the like button because this video took me forever to edit and to correct all my grammar, my English, and to record it. So if you like it, if you enjoy it, please hit the button. And if you disagree with me or you have more opinions on the show, leave a comment. Let's enrich this debate. And I just hope you can open your eyes a bit more for everything you're seeing on television, on your cell phone, on your computer. So I just hoped I don't know, I woke up this side of you a little more. Anyway, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it and have a good life. Have a beautiful life. Bye.